Hello, friends. I like them vibing. It's like some shaman. Yo, man, I'm getting so many downloads lately. It's been pretty magical, I will say. I don't know, man. It's almost like magic. I think it is. I think we all are. And that's the mark we were missing, maybe, perhaps. But let's talk about it, right? I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to find your way here. Yeah. Hello, my friends. Clink. Yo, dude, my puffer. My puffer. I'm getting rid of that fucking thing. The countdown's on, dude. I want to enjoy these last couple of lives with you guys puffing, though. Maybe not. Hold on, guys. Sorry. I'm coming back. I had to reach. Woo! I want to clink and puff with you guys one last time. I want to hear from you guys, though, right? This video is going to call you to really ask yourself questions. And I want interaction on this one, right? Just throwing everything away. Girl, I'm throwing away what doesn't serve me. And it's a painful fucking process. I could almost cry. I've been going through so much shadow work. I can't even explain it. And sometimes it's not to be explained. But it's so painful. My heart is hurting, man. Because I know, right? Okay, so I'll start. I'm calling for interaction on this, right? Which is, I'm asking you guys to think about your last year. Where was energy wasted? What seeds were you planting? What came into be, right? For me, that was painful. That was painful. Looking at the seeds I had planted last year, where I put my energy, wasted my energy basically by giving to things that just aren't to be, right? Hoping for things to change circumstances of things that I have no power over, you know? That was hurtful to actualize in my consciousness. Like, that's why I know letting go of things for me is not, it's hard. It's so hard, especially when you're in a place of love. But some things just aren't reciprocating the energy feed that I need, right? And they're draining me to try and be energetically connected to it. So I have to go through the painful process of severing ties with things, which is hard, especially hard for me in multiple ways, in my personal life, regarding love, regarding friendships, regarding the tribe here, right? It's been a month of real fucking pain for me, I will say. I've been suffering. My heart is hurting. And it's not easy because, first off, a lot of people didn't take too kindly to me being like, you know, maybe we're doing it wrong. You know, a lot of people don't want to believe that they're doing it wrong. And that's the ego in us, right? The ego in us has been saying we're doing it right. We're on the right path. Everybody else is on the wrong path. We know the right stuff. Everybody else believes the wrong stuff. And I've been a part of that, right? And I had to go through the shadow and have my ass beat by divine and really go in and say, fuck me. Who am I? Really? who am I to come out here and tell people they're doing it the wrong way? And that's a question for all of us, which I piss people off by asking this question. And that's part of the pain. You know, it's painful to grow and to outgrow people that you love. Hurts even more, right? But this is nothing new to life. My journey especially, I suppose, it's always been like this for me. I get in a comfort zone and then I'm pushed out of it. And I was comfortable with the tribe and the vibe. And then I was called to more. And then other people aren't comfortable with more. So other people, obviously, their ego bucks in. Their ego says, oh no, what now? She's selling her soul. Now she's a traitor. Now she's going this way. Now she's... And I'm like, okay, ouch. Fuck, man. Growing is painful, but growing publicly is even more painful. And it's just been a ride, man. So I want to know what you guys really have learned about 2022. It's a calendar year. It's not even the real astrological year. It doesn't start till fucking March. Okay. Let's be real. We're still in the season of the dead, spirituality, right? We're still in the season of sowing seeds, but it's an important season, winter solstice, because this is where we set the intentions for the next year. So New Year's resolutions for spring, which is when the real calendar year is reborn, or when the real astrological year is reborn, this season is important, right? So the New Year's resolution thing, they're not wrong by saying now is the time to set intentions for what we want to call to harvest in the future. And I just want to take the temperature and see, honestly, what have you guys accomplished this year? I know my failures. I know my accomplishments. I know what I wanted, what I didn't get. I know what I've got to let go of, and I got to do it for real this time because I'm growing. I'm not going to not grow because people don't want to grow. If we took that stance, we wouldn't be bringing a shift in right now. So let me just take a second and have you guys comment, and I'll build conversation with you. Okay? This last year, I have really learned a lot. I will say I've learned a lot and grown spiritually. You know, I'm not going to say it hasn't been without pain, but I have. I've taken it and I've grown with it. I haven't gotten beaten down by it. I wasn't broken by it. Okay. Hi, Linda. Yeah, I'm happy you guys are here, and we're here for this discussion, right? I really want to invoke thought, because now is the time that we need to be thinking, and the shift is coming, and I'm preparing to lose even more of you guys. And it's a sad truth, you know, and I really hate to see it, because there are people that I've built connections with over 2 years' time doing this that I thought were really ride or die. But, you know, I'm not judging them. I'm not separating myself from them. I'm allowing them to exist as they are. It's them that cast stones at me. It's them that are accusing me of things, right? I'm just over here doing me, living, growing, excelling in my own personal journey with people, trying to, right? But other people, see, they don't like that. They think I'm getting soft because I'm not out here fucking heads down, deep in rabbit holes all the time, ranting, throwing aggression out there in my energy towards people for making the choice that I'm not making, right? So apparently to those people, there's got to be something wrong with me, because now I'm not doing what I did 2 years ago, which is come out here basically with a lot of confusion and anger. I've done shadow work. I've grown as a spiritual being. What the fuck I'm going to stay mad about it for? I'm not mad about anybody making the choices that they're making. They're making their own choices. I'm okay with that. If they want to go play psychotic killer games, who am I to tell them not to? That's their fucking choice. Why should I continue to throw anger and aggression out when that shit is mirrored back to me? I don't want to transmute it anymore. It's wearing me out. You know? I'm taking on a lot of people's energy. My face is assigned to the energetic signature. It's going out across fucking the interwebs. Strangers in other countries are picking up on my energy field and are able to fucking throw daggers at it. I'm sick of wearing the shield. So fuck it. Why should I keep doing it? Just because everybody out here thinks I should. Because I'm so good at it. Great, I'm glad. But I'm going to be better at other things. Trust me. I'm going to be better at doing whatever the fuck is better for me. That's what I think. And I'm sorry for those of you guys who it's upset. And for those of you guys who have found it necessary to go and talk shit about me to other people and say, oh, Melody's out here doing this and for that and for this. Fuck all that. And I hate to say it, but you know, that's your journey. And you could cast as many stones at me as you fucking desire, but I'm going to stay the course for my soul's growth, man. I ain't going to continue to spiral down, 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 down vibrationally because of other people. People have to save themselves. I can't go out here and save people. What the fuck? What do you think? What do people think? Not one of you. And if you... any of you, there's over 50 people watching right now. If any of you guys think that it is your responsibility to go out here and save people at this point, we should probably evaluate why we're still in that vibration. Because truth be told, it should be clear that people are going to choose what they want to look into, what they want to give their energy to at this point. If people want to give their energy, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's progress. We're being called to grow. And not only that, I'm seeing 12:34 on the clock, but I'm seeing 12:30/2022, which is 12:33, which in turn is 333, which is about manifestation. Okay. For those of you guys who may not be into the numerology side of it. So basically, what have you guys really feel like we've done this last 2022? Because this is important for me. Like I said, I know personally what I feel I've accomplished. And it's mainly has nothing to do with anybody but me. I don't feel like I've came out here and saved people from their downfall by giving into the state. No, I don't feel that is an accomplishment. I feel like helping people grow spiritually was an accomplishment for me because I'm showing people the true way to their own power by spiritually speaking to their soul. I can talk to people about conspiracies. They're not conspiracies. It's happening in our reality. But the reason why it's happening is why? Because as a man thinketh. This is where I recently realized I was fucking duped into feeding the flames of the agenda that they're bringing in. And not everybody's going to see it my way. And I'm cool with that. I have an understanding of it. I could try and help people understand how I understand, but then it's up to people to see if that resonates with them. You don't have to resonate with it, right? Right. That's good, Susan. I think peace with our past is the present, and the future is the present. We got to find peace in the now. And this is something, every day we're waking up, it's the same day. And this is another thing, you know, with Russian doll, it's like the same day. It's like, that's a reason. Every day is the same day for us. Time is really not happening as we understand it to happen. It's just the same day over and over. Past, present, future. Everything is happening in the now. But we're controlling our reality by our mental projection of what we are believing in this reality. And right now, like I said in videos a few weeks ago, I feel like perhaps we have been counterproductive in visualizing a new earth, in visualizing the change that we want to see. Okay, so we want to see criminal psychopaths out of the picture. Why the fuck do we keep giving the criminal psychopaths so much the power when we're focusing on what they're doing all the time? We're giving our attention to it. Therefore, it's existing in our now. Right? It's the more and more and more, especially high vibrational people. And this is what I've realized. I can't really blame schmucks who are just coming out of the program, because that's part of the awakening, is understanding that your whole fucking reality has been a lie. You've been living in a matrix of sorts, and your truth of who you are, what's going on around you, the whole system itself has to be challenged to really get you on to an awakening. But then people are stopping there. They're not growing from the conspiracy part of it. They're staying stuck in another program, which is keeping them from coming up higher vibrationally. Because we can't feed into, not everybody is high enough perspective when they're just coming online to acknowledge that they're giving and feeding something on a spiritual way, because they haven't even hit that part of the ascension journey yet. They don't even realize that much yet, because they're still coming, they're babies, they're newborn infants into the reality out of the matrix. So they don't even realize that they're a spiritual person, that they have power, that their thoughts become things. They just realize that they've been lied to about the system, and that the government is sinister, and that the beast system is evil. And then if they're in a religious trap, then that's where it ends. Then they stay as a conspiracy religious person who's then waiting on an external savior. And then they go into feeling comfortable in a religious program, and that comforts them and keeps them from ascending. So there's all different layers to the program. And only the bravest of brave are continuing to push through, because it gets lonely. The higher you get in your journey, the lonelier it gets, the less you are understood by majority, right? Majority of people, if I'm out here talking conspiracy stuff, a lot of people relate. They can get what I'm saying. But then if I go deeper and I pull back layers and layers and layers, I start talking about the spiritual stuff and about the timelines and shifts and energy, people are like, okay, she lost me. I'm out. And of course, it's natural, because we're tuned into frequencies here. I'm emitting a specific frequency. If I lower my frequency down to broadcast out a signal to more people, say a broader signal to conspiracy people and other people in that realm, that's what I'm doing. But the higher I go, I'm broadcasting out, and there are only fewer and fewer people, the higher you get, that can receive the signal that you're putting out. And that's just part of the ascension path. It doesn't hurt me to lower my frequency down to talk to people at their level. That doesn't hurt me, because I just zoom right back up to where I live at, which is way in a high vibe, man. But the whole point is what are we leaving, and what are we planting? Because there's a shift coming, and people may or may not understand how the shift works, what the shift is. I can't hardly put it to words. I did find a video of somebody who was on my same kind of vibe, who was trying to explain it probably better than I could sit and try and explain it. But I will not wait. I will not wait anymore for people to get it. You know, I'm not going to come out here and try and wake people get it. I'm not going to be in my ego about it and say, it's my job. It is my responsibility to make you see, to activate you. It's like, if you're not already activated and you're not already making the choice to evolve, instead, people want to stay stuck on stupid and go around karmic cycles. That's not going to bring about a change in your life. You already know the outcome. In 6 months to a year, you're going to be facing the same fucking decision that you're facing now. But you want to play reindeer games and keep going around and around. I can't do that anymore. It's all, I got to go up now. And I want to take as many people with me as I can, but I know that I can't force people. And I know that this is a crossroads for a lot of people. I know it because I feel the energy. It is shifting in you guys, and who's really cut out to stay and who wants to go. So it isn't my responsibility. It's not your responsibility, Matt. It's not Joanne's responsibility. It's not Johnson's responsibility. It's not AP's responsibility. Our responsibility is to us and to our own consciousness and to finding the path to that highest points so that we can raise the consciousness of the collective. It's all energy and it's all mind. Everything is in the mind right now. Right? So, I would like to say, we have to deal with it. Absolutely, man. I realized it and I'm dealing with it the best way that I know how to, which is trying to just continue the course and not look back, because it's an addiction. It's an addiction. And I think this is where a lot of people are suffering. It's a fucking addiction. We always want to cast the point and saying these people, it's them that's not seeing, make them see, put the glasses on kind of energy. I was there in it. I'm not judging anybody. I'm saying, but the addiction is trying to figure it all out. Looking outside of you is never going to lead you to the truth. And the people here who are in the conspiracy stuff is fine. We all were there. I was there for sure. But when do you want to grow? When is that going to be enough? When have you convinced yourself that you know enough about evil criminal overlords and what they're trying to do to say, okay, now I need to switch frequencies and learn who I am more and less about who they are? They're the adversary. Who are you? You are the light. So why keep giving the dark your power, so to speak? I am not doing that. And so whoever wants to do it is up to them, because like I said, it's not my responsibility. I'll still love you. We can still, you're not my enemy. You are definitely not my enemy. But if you want to sever yourself from me, that's your choice as well. Check out Noah. I feel for that man. Yeah. And the Bible is full of great parables and tales to help people see from a different perspective. Right? And that's another one. Noah didn't sit there like, okay, the flood's coming. Oh, ha, ha, and the flood's not coming. Okay, fuck you. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm still building my boat, basically. So that's what I'm finna do. I'm finna build my boat. And people can mock me all day and say, oh, she's okay. Well, I'm building the boat. So what? I'm not going to sit and pull teeth. You don't have to believe that I'm building a boat for a reason. You can mock me and you can do whatever. But I'm still going to build my boat. At the end of the day, it's my choice. So, anyway. So I'm going to play this little video for you guys and then I want to talk about it. Now, yeah, no, I could give, this is how many fucks I give about people who judge or laugh at me right there. There's none. There's no fucks in there to give. Like I said, I'm used to it, really, my whole life. I know it's hard for some people to believe, but I have dealt with ridicule and fucking shit my whole life. I have been an odd duck. I have. And then I tried to fit in with society, and it was painful. Because I had to be somebody that I wasn't. And I learned, like, fuck that. I don't want to be that person that I'm not. I want to be me. And fuck them if they don't like me. And my expletives and my whatever I am to them. It's really not even about me. It's about a projection of me that they are putting back on me that isn't even me. Because most of the people that judge me don't even know me. It's like, okay, so somebody may think that they know me. But it's like a character. You guys know the drawings that they'll do if you like go and sit down at like San Francisco Wharf or somewhere like that. Even anywhere. Any city usually has a character artist, you know? So it's a likeness of me, right? But it's not a portrait of me. That's kind of the realm. We're looking at everybody with their caricature. We're seeing only the surface or the features of somebody, and sometimes very exaggerated in our own projection of it, right? So when people are drawing caricatures of me, I'm listening at their character version of me, and I'm like, okay, cool. Sometimes it's quite entertaining, right? Sometimes their character of me is so fucking off the wall that it's worth a good laugh. Like, you know, I'm a lizard, or like I'm selling out to Satan, or all of this shit. I have to look at their character that they're drawing of me, and I have to be like, oh shit, fuck, good one. That's fucking crazy, man. But in reality, I'm a portrait, an intricate, fucking fine drawn, tuned portrait. You know what I'm saying? And they're not picking up on it. They're getting a likeness of me just based on this little piece of what they're seeing. But when they're putting it, it's just characters, man. We just draw characters of people. And that's really what reality is we're all sitting out here drawing characters of people, but only the people know them. And sometimes people don't even know themselves. So they're just a character. They don't have any depth to them. There's no detail to them. You know, it's all surface. It's all, you know, it's all character. They don't even know, you know. It's just kind of fun when you think about it. And you can think about it without having to be so serious, because life has been a journey, you know, it's an experience. We take it as it's like the end all be all of our whole everything is limited to the ego and its understanding of being present in this body. But we're not. We're here in this moment now where our consciousness is connected to this. But this isn't it for us. It may feel like that, right? Because we're in the body. We're in the 3D. It feels like a prison, right? We can't just fucking interdimensional travel and shit because we're anchored into the body right now. But this isn't the end. It's like, that's why I always talk about the game. And it not to be like, oh, we're in some kind of video game, but it's similar to that. And so you can think Jesus spoke in parables. Well, that's an easy way to explain to somebody who's living in 2022 because video games are so prevalent and they're so popular. And I like to say to people who are into games, I'm like, yo, do you realize that we're playing a game right now in life? Like, what? Yeah, man. How are you wielding your power? Are you even trying to play the game? It's like they don't want to play the game. They're just like NPCs. They're like, going along with the program given into the game. See me, I'm like freaking putting the headset on, grabbing the fucking thing. I'm like, I'm in it, man. I'm fucking trying to get my way through this motherfucker, like real talk. You know, I'm Westworlding this shit. I'm not just running into walls. And I'm also not going to give a fuck about the people who are running into walls anymore. What is it my responsibility to reprogram an NPC? Maybe they don't want to be conscious. Maybe they don't want to be out of the game. Maybe they're fucking perfectly happy in their program where they get up every morning. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of the team. Maybe they really feel content being in their program. Not my responsibility. You know, my responsibility is to me. And if there's other people out there that are vibing like me, then we get to come together and we get to be awesome together. And we get to try and figure out how to get up into a higher level together, right? But I'm going to show you a clip because I've tried to explain this to you guys in times past that we're running the game together, okay? And there is a shift coming. I felt the shift. Other spiritual people feel the shift. We can see the shift manifesting. We can see it. If you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, you can pick up on it. I've tried to explain it in the past that the shift is going to be taking place at some point because we're on the same trajectory right now, but we're going to split. People who are on a certain mind path, because everything is mind, right? And it's almost like we're going to wake up to our dream. Once there's enough collective power and once the energy shift happens, it's like the frequency, the vision that we're on is going to be broken off from this fucking reality that's circling down the drain. So people who have this mind of this reality in the forefront of their consciousness, and that's what they're going to sleep with in their mental as being their reality and all of that, when the shift happens, they're going to fucking wake up and it's not going to be any different. But would it be so fucking weird to believe that you and I actually have all the power here? Let's look at this clip real quick, okay, guys? I'm going to just remove it from this thing because it's a little video, so I'll have to clip you back, but hold on. Let's give this a watch.
Okay, so what you're looking at here is
Can you hear it because there's fucking music? I hate these people doing the music everywhere. Hopefully you can read it, right? Maybe I'll read it. This is the Fibonacci spiral right here. So anybody who knows like the 369 stuff, okay, this is the Fibonacci spiral. So we've actually had these two creational programs running simultaneously. Now, each one of these different Fibonacci spirals, these are the creator's programs. These create completely separate realities, okay? But they're running together right now. So right now they're overlapping, as you see in the picture. We're experiencing the same reality, even though we're separate vibrations, like us high vibrational people are aware and the low vibrational people are unaware, but we're all running this energy track together, right? At this point here. Now the two spirals cross eventually at where? Let me just tell you, they cross at the 144,000. Okay, this is important. So this is a representation of the Fibonacci spiral, and the number 144, which would be at this point where he's showing, is where the crystals and stuff come into play. The number of progression, this sequence, all of this stuff, which you can't hear, but the 144 is on it as the crossing point, right? So that's the vibration, that's the frequency. This is why that 144 resonance is the point, because they both cross at this point. Now, basically, this is where they come together, and it's calculated to be November of next year, 2023. Okay? Now, we don't know the day or the hour, but we can approximate that sometime next year, when these two different energy spirals align at the 144 mark, is when the shift, the organic crystal shift, okay, takes place. Because that's the time wave where they converge at that point. So right now we are aligning, and one path is descending and one path is going to ascend. So there's a group of souls that are on this trajectory, right? And when we're looking at it, I basically am shutting this off because, first off, you can't hear a fucking word this person's saying, because what they've done is put their stupid music up so loud, which I could probably be guilty of. Oops, hold on, guys. This is falling. I don't want it to fall into my coffee. I'm going to see the background of my room. That's where the magic doesn't happen, in that bed. Believe it. Fucking celibacy is a real thing for spiritual goddesses. We don't give our energy to fuck shit. But anyway, I don't know who needed to hear that. But ladies, if you've been feeling like you're on a dry spell, be on the dry spell. Don't go giving any of your sacred energy to any of these non-deserving fucking succubuses, because we want people to love us, not love to lust us, right? I don't want somebody to come in and be like, ooh, I fucking love to lust you. I love to jack off to you. I love to fucking... It's like, fuck off. I want you to love me, right? I want you to wake up every morning and be like, God, I love that I have such a beautiful, loving soul laying next to me all night, sharing sacred energy. I don't want you to be like, ooh, I love to wake up and go to the bathroom and jack off to you. Fuck you. That's what we're leaving in 2022, right? So, freaking portal will remain closed until somebody who is actually going to love me has a royal fucking scepter to unlock it. And I hope that you guys set those same intentions for you, because sex is sacred. And that's part of the reason why the whole fucking realm is so out of alignment. Because people are out here literally tangling up sexual energies with freaking people who are tangling up sexual energies with freaking people. And it's all a fucking nasty web of nastiness. No. No more. Spiritual goddesses, we are not putting up with that shit. Let them fucking lust you? Sure. Of course they're going to lust you because you're a fucking beautiful light. But don't let them penetrate you, because all they want to do is penetrate you with their fucking lust and not show up with love. And we don't want lust. We want love, because we're asking the masculines to raise to their divine level. We are asking them, we are calling them, we are demanding them to rise. The spiral, back to the spiral. That is the rise. Okay? Why the fuck would we allow men to continue to use us as cum dumpsters if we're ascending? We want to call out that heart chakra in them, not help keep them in the lower chakras. Humanity's stuck in the lower chakras, and that's the spiral. Back to the spiral, because I couldn't fucking leave it to these people to not allow anybody to even get a word in, because they've got their stupid music. I couldn't even hear the guy talking, for fuck's sakes. Jesus. Anyway. So, let's draw it this way. So, we're all floating through time. Now, that's from this perspective, the spiral. Hurling down this imaginary energy source. Everything is frequency, rhythm, and vibration. So when you realize that frequencies and rhythms and vibrations, they are like this, but they're spiraling. Everything is motion. Everything is going around, okay? So with sacred geometry, people will understand this, whatever. I'm going to just keep it pretty basic. But so we're on this spiral. Now, to look at this way, it's like this, but it's also like this. And then they're converging, and then they're going to spiral off. Well, what's happening? Nothing new under the sun is happening, except that the old will fade away, and the new will go in a different direction. The shift is documented in the core of people for all times, okay? Everybody who's anybody is going to understand what this is meaning. So we, at this point here, are crossing paths with the other people because we're breaking off. The wheat and the chaff, okay? We're literally going to be drawn in to where we're supposed to go. It's like a vortex. The higher energies are going to be sucked up the spiral, and the lower energies are going to descend down the spiral. Dystopia, heaven, convergence, split point. So we're running the spiral together right now, right? At some point, we hit the checkpoint, and here's why it's going to be important where your personal vibration is coming in at and where your mind is going. Because where your mind goes, your attention flows, and that's where your energy is connected. And this is what I have come to realize, okay, why I'm making the personal choice not to give my fucking energy into what is happening outside of the vision I want to see happen. Because if I'm actively envisioning the now, the present, where they're trying to have war, they're fucking trying to starve people, trying to freeze people, trying to genetically engineer people, trying to oppress people, trying to murder people and tax people, and people are suffering. If I keep giving my energy into all of the shit that they're doing, which is all lower fucking spiral shit. This is what the establishment, the beast represents, is all low vibe. I'm high vibe. There's no going back for me. I couldn't go back to being a matrix drone even if I begged, because I'll be honest with you, I've begged. I have begged numerous times for the cup to be taken from me, for me to just go back to sleep, for me not to have to walk the path that I'm on, because it's difficult and it's lonely, right? So I have asked numerous times, like, can I just go and be a dum-dum person? Can I just be one of the fucking people who just gets to blend in for once? What is that like? I've never been that. I've always been the fucking odd duck. I've never been one that's been able just to blend in with the fucking crowd. And it's been a difficult path, but then now I realize why. I was never meant to be here during this shift to blend the fuck in with the low vibrational idiots. I've always had compassion and love. I've always been different, right? I've always actually cared. Even when I was out there doing dumb shit, man, I was always a good person in my core. And it's almost a miracle, honestly, because people, the darkness eats the goodness out of people. And I've overcome so much darkness, and I've remained good. And so I realize now that that was part of the journey for me. Just like most of you guys, we're on this path because we are called for this. This is the mission. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Is for when this shift takes place and we manifest the new earth. These guys are desperate. They are taking what they can, okay, energy-wise, because they can't survive without a source of energy. And these lower vibrational energies are feeding to keep this alive. I'm not feeding them anymore. I'm not feeding any of it. Fuck. I wake up and say, fuck this whole entire reality. I hope it fucking burns tomorrow. Because I know in the future, we will have a different vibrational plane, right? A lot of people don't understand. We don't have to have governments and evil establishments ruling us because we're coming in at a higher vibration. We're coming in as we were intended to with heart chakra activation. We're coming in that higher vibration of love. So when we're reborn, it's not going to be into the low vibe cesspool of a reality. You're getting reborn as somebody who comes in after the shift into the new plane. When you come in, you're getting born into a high frequency. And then guess what's not going to happen? You're not going to be programmed by a satanic system. You're not going to be told at the second of birth that this is that, and this is that, and this is that, and put all these boxes on you. When you're born, you're going to be born as we were supposed to be before this existence was hijacked. And you're going to come in a higher vibration. And when people come in love, and they're born into love, into a loving reality, where we take care of each other. We look out for each other. You're not my competition. You're my friend. You're my sister. You're my brother. You know, you're not my competition. We all take care of each other, right? And when we sync up with each other, we sync up out of love. So we're not out here. When you find me and we decide to be together, it's because we love each other. It's not because, oh, you got fucking a donkey dick or whatever the fuck these people are syncing up with. You know what I mean? So it's a whole different reality we will be birthed into, giving us a whole different experience. That's why we're here to hold the vision for it. Because we do not need to have criminal establishments ruling us. And when children are born into the new earth, they're not going to be born into this program. They're not going to be born and indoctrinated with this wickedness and division. It's going to be a whole different vibe, as it should be. So this is the shift that's coming, right? The shift that's coming is going to be subtle. Like, we're not going to wake up one day and know the difference, in my personal belief. It's going to be a breakaway. Whereas we stop giving our attention to manifesting this program into our reality, all of the conspiracy stuff into our reality, when us high-minded conscious beings take our power back away from what they have been telling us to give it to, like focusing on the conspiracies and what's going on. Blinders on. Fuck that. I don't care. My vision is on what's coming. My vision is on what's coming. My vision is on the future that I want to see created, where kids are not being confused, okay, where criminal tyrants aren't trying to kill everybody. I have a vision where those things don't even exist in the future of my mind. And so when I meditate on things, that's what it is. Every second of every day is a waking moment of manifestation. Okay? Where we are thinking is where we are planting. I want to plant the future seeds so that we can align with the highest timeline. I do not want to continue to plant the seeds of the dystopia, where people are going to stay stuck, sucked down the spiral that is descending. I want people to ascend. Okay? So bringing it to the book of As a Man Thinketh. It's not even a book. It was a paper. James Allen, right? Anyway, so man's mind may be likened to a garden, which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild. But whether cultivated or neglected, it must and will bring forth if no useful seeds are put into it. Then the abundance of useless weed seeds will fall therein and will continue to produce their kind. Their program are worthless weed seeds, and we've been mindlessly giving our attention to it. Thinking, because I'll admit, 111 on the clock, I was in my ego, believing, truthfully, that I was helping by trying to force people to see things from my perspective. And I realize now I was doing it wrong, because I can't force anybody. I can only share and move on. When you think about Jesus, the character, what did he spend his days doing? Did he spend his days, okay, from the story that we know, did he spend his days blasting Caesar and the Pharisees and everything? Or did he spend majority of his time planting seeds into the minds of people to grow their I amness and their spiritual connection? He spent majority of his time talking to people and getting them to see things from a spiritual perspective to help them understand that they are part of the I am, the oneness of who they are. And that was his message. Yes, there were times when he's seen misjust things taking place, and he spoke up for that. And that's okay that we do that. You know, if there's a woman getting beat down by a bunch of thugs, of course I'm going to step in and say, screw you people. Or if there's the cops doing vile shit, of course I'm pulling out my camera and filming that shit and saying, I got you fuckers. Right? I'm not ignoring that I live in the reality that is hell, and I will not allow wrongdoing and trespasses of innocents souls to go without being condemned. I won't look up into the sky and see chemtrails and say, oh, beautiful chemtrails. No, I'm going to condemn what I see as wrongdoing in my soul, but I'm not going to live in that condemnation where it traps me into this cesspool of weeds, right? Where that's all my mind is going on, is the criminals, the psychopaths, the agenda, the this. No. Because then what fruit am I able to produce from my thoughts? How can I focus? You have to choose a path. You can't focus your intention on two different paths. And this is where I decided my attention is going towards the path of new earth. I don't care about this dying earth. This earth is going to fade away in my realm, right? In my mind. This place is not sustainable as it is. So nature and everything is going to come in and do its thing to get us in alignment with the next ascended path. So, just as a gardener cultivates his plot, keeping it free from weeds and growing the flowers and fruits which he requires, so may a man tend the garden of his mind, weeding out all the wrong, useless, and impure thoughts and cultivating towards perfection the flowers and fruits of right, useful, and pure thoughts. By pursuing this process, a man sooner or later discovers that he is the master gardener of his soul. It's important that you claim that you are in charge of what comes to be into your existence. They don't want us to know this trick because the more people that stay in their existence is cultivating their plan. We're all cultivating the seeds that they have planted in our minds. Their program is them planting seeds in our mind. We have mindlessly been programmed with seeds to birth their reality. Now, if we make conscious effort to withdraw, our minds from cultivating their gardens and start planting seeds for the garden we want to see grow. See? Thought and character are one. And as character can only manifest and discover itself through environment and circumstance, the outer conditions of a person's life will always be found to be harmoniously related to his inner state. This is to be true. You say, Johnson, you're saying fear. Absolutely. So what has been programmed into the minds of humanity? The fear program. There is no fear in love, but a perfect love casts out fear. Why do you think they don't want you activating your heart chakra and finding true love is you? Finding that you have that love source, primo energy inside of yourself. Why do you think they want you in the lower vibration of fear instead of the high vibration of love, joy, peace, sound mind, abundance? They want you confused. They want you fractured. They want you low vibe as possible so that you can be controlled. Because if you're in a constant state of fear in insecurity, anxiety, indecisiveness in your inner person, then pretty soon your whole external experience becomes chaos because you are chaos. As within, so without. So when men can't make a decision, when women are emotionally imbalanced and they're going do all day, right? How can we have a productive fucking garden in a society like that, where each individual on an individual level, their house is not in order? And this is why the Bible talks about keeping your house in order. You and your existence and your reality are your responsibility. Right? And if you can't wake up and be accountable for you And your experience here, like, I wake up with the intention I'm going to be fucking loving today. I get to choose. I could literally wake up every day and be like, I'm going to release the wrath of fucking God with hate upon every freaking soul I encounter. And I could go out into the crowds and I could be an agent of darkness. And whenever somebody looked at me, I could be like, go fuck yourself, you piece of shit. And spew curses and hate and discord into their soul. But instead, I choose to go out into the masses. And when I see a living soul, I'm like, smile. Or I'm like, beautiful day, isn't it? I say something to encourage them. And most of the time, it's genuine compliments. I don't just give compliments that I don't mean. I give genuine compliments. Because giving genuine compliments is just like handing somebody a fucking $1,000. If I go to the gym and I see a woman doing something, climbing the stair machine, rowing away, running on the treadmill, I might walk by her and be like, round of applause, right? And then in that moment, I'm encouraging her and she's smiling and she's like, you know, I might have just acted like, for that woman, like the dad that never fucking showed up for her. Like the mother who always beat her down and verbally abused her and told her she wasn't pretty enough or told her that she was too fat. In that moment, my little act of walking by and showing pure, true support and love and encouragement and praise, I might have just been acting like that friend that she was never able to meet because she was socially awkward or had anxiety. See? So I'm actually out there sowing love and support in the realm. Some women walk by other women and do this. The difference, see? A bitch walked by me with her eyes of judgment, and I'm like, I just hiss at him. But that's me, right? Because I'm already like super out of that program. But see, that might break another woman who needed that mom who would support her, who needed that dad who was going to help her with her self-esteem, who needed that best friend so that she didn't feel alone. See? So we have a choice every single day to make or break one another. Bitches out there choose to hate and judge and condemn and talk shit and eye roll in competition with other women. They're sowing seeds of darkness for the realm. You see, we get to choose every single day on an individual level. I choose to wake up and fucking activate my wings. Other people choose not to. That's not my fucking prerogative. But this is the difference in being a powerful person in the realm and making a change to shift humanity to the higher consciousness, and people who are just helping humanity descend down the drain. So when the people who walk by people at the gym with like that shit, those motherfuckers are going to be on the spiral down, you see, when the shift comes, because they're not a vibrational match to the higher path. People like us who are supporting, who hand the fucking homeless person $5, we're not sitting there going, oh no, fuck that. This person's out here sitting, asking for money. They can go get a job. They're probably going to spend it on booze. They're probably going to spend it on drugs. We, in the vibration of love, see somebody who's down on their luck, who I'm saying, yo, $5 ain't going to make or break me. I'm going to see this person have this $5 and they can spend it on whatever the fuck they want. I don't care. They could go buy a $5 rock of crack and smoke it. I'm giving it to them with the intention of love. And if smoking that crack eases a little bit of their pain, then fuck it, man. I don't care what they're doing with the money I give them. Then there's the people who aren't going to do it because of judgment. So there's a difference. Jesus walked up to the lepers, right? So the point, I'm getting way off track here. I don't even know where I'm going with this, but I'm just talking in the flow. The point is, at every choice, at every crossroads, at every moment is a choice for us. Life is a choice. Kind of like that movie, Jared Leto, the guy who, the Mr. Old Guy choice, the old guy, and it was like a play of his life, and every choice, kind of like the butterfly effect, right? Where every day you get to choose, and every choice spins you on a new trajectory, on a path that you'll have to, that you sow the seeds for, right? And this is the karmic path, the cause and effect path. 1, 2, 3, another synchronicity. So this is progress, staying on the path of progress towards the ascended path, towards the high vibration, right? Choosing to act in every opportunity with good intentions and purity of heart, with love at the forefront of our decisions. Not fear, not anxiety, not trying to get up on one another, not doing it out of judgment, not out of competition. All of that shit is low vibe. Envy, jealousy, all that. Low vibe. See, Shannon? Yeah, girl. Jealous bitches. Jealous bitches are the lowest vibe bitch, dude. I can't even fuck with them. I'll disassociate myself from women. I may meet women and then realize that they're just shit-talking bitches, and I'm just like, I'm like Homer into the bush. I'm like, go back into the bush. I'm like, Their vibe repels me. Their vibe repels me. And I've actually told women, like, I met this woman at the park, right, this summer, and she's kind of cool, you know, but I noticed about her, and we would meet up and we were doing like little play dates with the kids, right, and her and I were walking, and I noticed that all she did was talk about other people. I'm like, girl, you need to stop talking about people so much. And she's like, why? I'm like, cause it's just not good. You're stirring up bad energy. And she was always talking and comparing herself to other women. Right? Like, oh, look at how ugly this bitch is. Look at her. Oh my God. I can't believe this bitch. Oh my gosh. So much prettier than, I'm so much pretty. And I was just like, I said, you know what? I said, you have low self-esteem, girl. I told her this, right? She hasn't called me back since this day, by the way. I'm like, you have low self-esteem and you need to love yourself more. And she's like, why? Why do you say that? I said, because. I said, you are picking everybody else apart and all these flaws in other people. I said, and you're focusing way too much on the external appearance of these girls on Instagram or these women. I'm like, at the end of the day, when you're judging everybody else, it means that you are really judging you. And you need to love yourself more because you're judging everybody. I said, and you need to stop doing that. We've never hung out again since that day. And I'm sure she probably judged me after that talk. She's probably like, who is that dumb, ugly bitch? Who is that ugly bitch judging, telling me I have to stop? Well, it was divine appointment. You were meant to meet me, and I gave you the message that you wanted to hear. You may not have liked it, but I delivered it to you. The whole point is we get to choose our path every single day. And as a collective of conscious beings right now, we get to choose our path going forward into the next calendar year. Like I said, this isn't the new season. That starts in Aries season. That's March. Okay? This is the time to plant the seeds going into this next energy. Energy. Everything is energy. So going into this next season, which again, I was explaining, the paths are going to be converging at a specific point next year. We now, during solstice, are planting the seeds for where we want to see growth and what vibration we want to land in. I guarantee you I'm not sowing seeds of bullshit for myself for the next season. And I don't want you guys to do that either. This is the reason why I'm out here explaining this to you. Because every man is where he is by the law of his being. So you are responsible for your own growth. You are responsible for your own choices every single day. And your thoughts, okay, are your choices. Because that's your inner temple. That's where it all begins. Because thoughts becomes things. Think about anything that you can physically put eyes on around the room that you're sitting in. That didn't get there without somebody first thinking of it. Anyway, as a progressive and evolving being, man is where he is, that he may learn, that he may grow. And as he learns the spiritual lessons which any circumstance contains for him, it passes away and gives place to other circumstances. Man is buffeted by circumstances so long as he believes himself to be the creature of outside conditions. But when he realizes that he is the creative power and that he may command the hidden soil and seeds of his being, which circumstances grow, he then becomes the rightful master of himself, which this is important to realize. Becoming the creature of outside conditions is what we all are when we are focused on the outside things that are happening. We are then giving our power to the outside illusion that they have planted in us. When we take our creative power back as the co-creators here, and we begin to plant the seeds of growth and project the seeds in our own mind that we want to see born, then we're really doing something. As within, so without. And that's an occult principle. So anybody in the conspiracy vibration, you're going to want to understand this, that the overlords and the criminal psychopaths are understanding all of the occult teachings. They understand that your mind and you are a battery to creating the reality. That's why they've hijacked it. That's why everything is an attack on your consciousness, on your mind. The psyop is that they have you hoodwinked to believe that they are even a legitimate authority figure. Everything is a fucking mind manipulation with them. And they laugh because we're feeding into their agenda. Even though we call ourselves woke, they're still spinning their reality using the power of our minds, because we're still giving our minds over to that power. And that's the hard thing I think that people have yet to realize. It took me a while to realize this. I dicked around, toeing around in it for a while. I said, I don't want to do so much conspiracy videos. I'm being more led to spiritual. But then I was still doing conspiracy videos against my own better thing. I was like tipping around, and it was my ego, because I'm like, I want to keep people happy. I wanted to keep people hanging out and being in the tribe, because I knew that there were two different groups of people. There were the conspiracy driven people and there were the spiritually driven people here. And I was still trying to cater to everybody. But I had to make a choice. I had to say, I'm done. I got to drop one of these things, because I can't focus and grow two things. And I want to grow the new earth. I want to focus on the future of humanity, not the falling away of humanity. Let that shit fall already. So it was a tough decision for me to make, because it's painful. It's painful because you're going to lose people. You're going to have to say goodbye to people who won't grow with you. But the circumstances grow out of every thought man knows, who has for many length of time practiced self-control, self-purification, for he will have noticed that the alteration in his circumstance has been in exact ratio with his altered mental condition. So true. This is that when a man earnestly applies himself to remedy the defects in his character and makes swift and marked progress, he passes rapidly through a succession of this. So when you're looking at taking accountability on yourself as a man and saying, okay, yeah, well, I've been kind of addicted to pornography. I've been fucking dishonest with people in my life. I haven't operated with integrity. I've done this. I've done that. And when you can call yourself out on your bullshit and then call yourself out even more so and tell people, yeah, I've been on my bullshit, then you're making progress. See? Then you're raising your vibration. Because when you carry secrets and you carry darkness around, you're carrying shadow. And shadow always dims the light. And the highest vibration, that you want to be is the light. You want to be the most vibrant human that you are. But if you are not, as a man or woman, in a place of integrity, like if you're a jealous bitch, right? If you can't see somebody and support them on their journey, realizing that's not your competition, you want everybody to win. You know why you want everybody to win? Because everybody is you. Ta-da! And when you're truly in the ascended mind of the Christ consciousness, you realize that we are all just extensions of each other, having this experience as the I amness of Source is in us. And we're all just personalities of that one energy. Then you realize, oh, it's not my competition. That's just another me with a different personality experiencing the experience different than me. That's okay. Good for them. I hope they're happy. I'm not looking at any other person out there as personal competition to me. And when you can get to that point, then you're really getting somewhere. Because that's like pure unconditional love right there. Right? Yeah. Because then nobody's your competition. You don't have envy. You're like, oh, wow, that person lives luxuriously. That person has a very nice house. That person eats really good. That person this, that person that. I'm not looking at it as that person is somehow better than me. I'm looking at it, good for that person. There are some people out there who don't have that. So good for that person. You know? It's all about mindset and how you're looking at it. The soul attracts that which is secretly harbors, right? So, like I'm going back to haters. You freaking haters out there. You're going to attract animosity towards yourself. You're going to attract judgment towards yourself, right? You're going to attract discord because your inner person is projecting that. So internally, that's going to be what you pick up on and receive. The soul attracts that which it loves and also that which it fears. So we are magnets. And this is why, again, I feel compelled in 2023 to call myself into the vibration of the future attraction. I want to call in the reality that is the highest and most beneficial timeline. That's what I want to attract with my energy source. I do no longer care to entertain what I don't want to attract, which would be giving my attention to the overlords and the plans that they have laid out for humanity. So we like I did the law of opposites thing, that video. Okay. That's where this comes into play. It's a law of opposites. It doesn't matter because source energy is just that. It's just energy. We're the commanders of the energy with our intentions. A lot of people aren't aware that where their attention is going is what is growing. That's why I feel like we have been duped using the law of opposites manifestation technique by the criminal overlords who have scripted the game for us. And so I really feel like going into 2023, my seeds and my intentions are sown towards more love, more future visions instead of focusing on the present. Because if we continue to focus on what's happening here in the present, then the present energy is going to continue to persist. What we're spiritually being called to is now we understand dark overlords are managing the realm. There's sinister things happening. What do we want to see happen, though? What future do we want to see? Because we've been focusing on the future that they want for us, which is helping it manifest. They're using occult tactics here. And I can't force anybody to see this. You know, you're either going to understand what I'm saying or you're not. But every thought seed shown or allowed to fall into the mind produces its own blooming, whether sooner or later. It's coming down the line. So good thoughts bear good fruit, and bad thoughts are going to bear bad fruit. The outer world of circumstance shapes itself into the inner world of thought, and both pleasant and unpleasant external conditions are factors which make for the ultimate good of the individual. As the reaper of his own harvest, man learns both by suffering and bliss. Have we suffered enough, my friends? Have us beautiful souls who had the best intentions coming into 2020 to help and wake and bring attention to what was going on? Good for us. We did the right thing. We did, because at that moment, that was where we were. But my loves, my friends, my people, we are no longer stuck there, right? We are not going to fall victim to the fucking overlords and the traps they lay out for us. We are jumping off of the loop of conspiracies, and we're evolving now even higher. And that's what they don't want. That's why they don't give a fuck if we're out here doing conspiracies. And then when they fact check and do all that, they're just lowering our vibration even more. Because then we get pissed off because we're getting censored. Well, they can't censor our fucking minds, not yet anyway. Big Brother is watching, but they're not fucking really all there. So if we call to vision a better reality, how can they stop that? They can't. And they know it. That's why they are seeking to control our vision. They want us caught in the mind trap of the unpleasant reality that they plan on creating. Talk about the Great Reset? Yes, that's what they want, because that's what they want. So us conspiracy truthers are an essential part in manifesting this for them. Because then they're covering both bases. They're covering the sheeple and the woke folks. So they're getting all of our minds. Straight up. I'll show you how. Hold on, guys. Puff. Oh my gosh. I'm seeing some people here I haven't seen for a long time. I love that. I love to see people that I haven't seen tuning in for a long time. It lets me know that we're growing together, not apart, right? We're just on separate journeys. Anyway, so I'm drawing source energy as the earth that we're standing on here, just for the sake of this illustration. This is the energy source, okay, under here. Source. We're all connected to the energy, okay? So here we are, and I'm going to make us woke ones. Woke, 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 woke. So we're all over here. We're all wiki. We know what's going on, okay? And here are all the dum-dums. The people who are just in the assembly line of the matrix. They're plugged into source, right? So they are a power source, okay? And here we are. The thing is that now we have the overlords, and they're sitting up here. And we're going to put this evil devil-looking head, okay? And they're saying, okay, we want to control the realm. We want the realm to look like we want it to look. So they're planting seeds out into the minds of all of the dum-dums. And the dum-dums unknowingly are manifesting their reality. And then there's all of us truthers. And we're like, hey, wait, we see what you guys are doing. We know what you guys are doing. And unknowingly, we're giving them the energy because we're saying, wait, guys, look, they're doing this. They're doing that, but it doesn't matter. Because our brain power and our focus and our attention is going on to what? What they want it to go on. So then we are in turn giving more power to the cloud of consciousness that they want us to breed. Because in all of our minds, we're saying, what you're doing, you're altering our DNA. Well, yes, they are. Who cares? These people are unknowingly giving it power because they're not asking any questions. We're asking questions. We know the truth, but we're also giving it power. We're not doing anything progressive. It's all still the same cloud of toxic hell. They're putting stuff in our food and our water. Why, yes, they are. Good for us to give that power. Not saying that we can't condemn it and say they're putting stuff in our food and our water, but their time is limited because we are focusing on this. We're bringing in something new, and we're more powerful vibrationally than any of these people down here. They're in a low vibration. We're in high vibration. We are conscious creators. We are consciousness that is actualized into the power that we are able to control. 1:44 on the clock when I looked. Bam. That's a big synchronicity. As I talk about us manifesting the new earth, when the split happens, at what convergent point does it happen? The 144 point. That's a big synchronicity. For those who know. So yes, we are the higher vibrating creators here. Therefore, our consciousness and what our vision is going to start counteracting theirs. So if we hold the line and start visualizing this, then the energy that is has to put our power into a manifestation. So the aggregate, the energy aggregate, is saying, okay, wait, I'm getting a signal. All of this cloud of consciousness is wanting to create this trajectory. Right? So this cloud of consciousness is telling the realm, is telling the energy that creates to manifest opportunities to get us on this trajectory, on this spiral. Meanwhile, the aggregate, the energy that creates, is also saying, wait a minute, we're also getting a signal that says manifest this reality. They want us to, we're getting a cloud of consciousness that's sending the request that this is the dream, that this is their vision. Well, at some point, even though we're currently on the same plane, we're running the same game, at some point, we're going to start seeing this reality fade out away from our vision. If we keep our vision on the lofty things, pretty soon, all of this reality is going to start to align with what? This. And it's not going to happen overnight. We may just see things like global collapse, power structures falling down. But that has to happen because that's our vision. So as we start seeing catastrophe, we're still holding the vision and saying, this is just the aggregate responding to our desire for change. It has to start breaking apart. So when that starts happening, these people are seeing the breaking apart and they're panicking, therefore remaining in this lower consciousness cloud. We see it and we're responding with joy, remaining in the higher consciousness cloud. Our realities are going to be different after the shift because there's two different clouds of consciousness calling out of two different vibrations to create two different things. You get it? You understanding it? So this is a timeline shift. So, whereas before in 2022, many of us may have fallen victim into continuous to feed this cloud of consciousness, which means that our conscious mind would be connected to this cloud of consciousness when the shift happened, instead of being connected to this cloud of consciousness when the shift happened. I personally am choosing this because when I come in to be in the future, I'm not going to wake up and see the catastrophe that's coming as a bad thing. I'm holding the vision for the new earth because that's what I envision for the future. Is everything collapsing? It has to collapse. So those of us here in the high consciousness, when we see the stuff breaking down, and it's going to start breaking down, it's going to start breaking down. Holy shit, it's going to come in rapidly. We're going to start seeing everything, and this is why we can't focus on it. We just have to hold the vision. And there's going to be catastrophes. There's going to be death. There's going to be chaos. But it has to happen. And it went dark right there. Dark. Did you see the screen went dark? The darkness has to come in. There's always pain before the birth. You can't birth something new without pain. Any mom here is going to know that. I don't care who you are. And in the Bible, in Matthew, all of the things that we're going through, Jesus actually said, we're going to start seeing all of this. And this is just the birth pains, the beginning of sorrows. The beginning of sorrows is where we're at. So we have to go through this if we're going to birth the new earth, birth the new vision, birth heaven on earth, because the kingdom of heaven is within us. What are we planting seeds for? As the 144 number resonates to you, whether or not you believe it's a vibration, whether or not you believe there's 144,000 souls, whatever it is to you, that number is significant. That number adds up to 9, which means it's we're here for the end. 9 is the number before 10. 10 is completion. So we're here to birth the new earth, the beginning. Anyway, so I would continue to carry on and on and on, but I think you guys get it, and there's no need to beat a dead horse. I do think that it's an evaluation time going into this season. Like I said, it's not a new astrological new year. That doesn't happen yet. This is the season of solstice, though, where we're planting and setting the intentions in our own mind, in our own garden, for what we want to see birthed in spring, because spring is when new birth happens. So what do you want to see born in 2023? Do you want to see yourself, and I'm not asking this at a place of judgment because I'm already went through this. I'm going to be the first to admit I was acting in ego a lot of the time. I wasn't seeing with clarity, that I was maybe being counterproductive with stuff that I was talking about and putting out there. But I'm hoping that I can keep my mind focused on the future vision. I'm going to be the first to humbly admit that that is what I spent a lot of 2022 doing, is fighting with myself on different things. And I have to let go of certain patterns of behavior, certain things I was giving my energy to that were not bearing fruit for me. And it doesn't matter how painful it is for me. It doesn't matter how much it hurts me to do it. I have to commit to it because I am not going to stop my evolution and my progress for nothing and nobody. If they don't want to come with me on the path that I'm going and match the vibration that I'm stepping into, then they can fade out of my existence. And I am sorry, that is not evil. I wish that they would come along. But if they choose to repeat the same toxic shit that they've been repeating, that's their choice. And I have to leave them to it. I can't save anybody. I can't activate anybody. I can't get anybody to acknowledge the truth within them. If they haven't done it by now, it's kind of like that song's coming to mind. If you don't know me by now, you will never, ever, ever know me. Ooh, who sings it? Dennis, where are you when I need you? Dennis is like my music guy. But it's that, you know, it's that kind of vibe. If you don't vibe with the path, then that's going to be the path that I'm going to stay on. And other people can go on their own webs of consciousness, you know, because we create our own choices every day, like I said. And I choose to go in the consciousness that's going up as opposed to the one that's fucking circling the drain. So inventory, I challenge you guys, inventory of what you actually spent your brain power on in 2022. I already did this. If you were here for the beginning, which I know it's been a long video, you would hear me discuss this. What and how did it bear fruit? Did it bear good fruit for you? Or do you feel stuck? Because if you're feeling like in 2022, maybe you came out here and I tried to wake everybody and I just tried and I had to see all this suffering. It's like, okay, well, if you're coming in at your end of year check-in and you're feeling like you didn't make much progress, then perhaps it's time for you to focus your attention on another path. And what are you going to lose? A lot of people might be acting in fear with making the decision to cut loose. What are you going to lose? If you stopped giving every day of your life into figuring out conspiracy stuff, what would you lose? Ask yourself the question. What is your response? Well, I might lose one of the fucking Q drops. I might not have it all figured out then. That would be an ego response. Because that means you're still acting in ego. Because none of us have all the answers. None of us will ever leave here with all the answers. We just have to stay the course. We're not ever going to have... And really, why do we care? Why are we trying to figure out why psychopaths do psychopath shit? We're not psychopaths. We're loving beings. We need to manifest more loving shit. And stop giving our attention to psychopath shit. To be honest, because where our attention goes, well, that's what's flowing. We've seen more psychopaths and more freaking darkness creep into the realm. And why? Why is it getting so dark? Because we continuously focus on it. And mindlessly, people are focusing on it. They just go along with it. It's just like fucking Tinder. It's like, that's a fucking darkness. Stealing and harvesting sexual energy and creating soul ties. Who cares though, right? Nobody's thinking about it. All they're thinking about is just their flesh, like getting their dick wet. Like, oh, I'm going to go fuck somebody tonight. And no strings attached. Well, little do you know, fuckboy. Strings big time attached energetically to your soul. And now you're going to have to carry trauma around with you, old girl, of that guy and all the bitches that he's fucked. All the toxic girls that he's been through. Because he never did any healing to purge his chakra system. He didn't take celibacy as a thing. He didn't go through celibacy and take a cycle to heal himself and identify his character defects and figure out why his relationship didn't work with the last bitch. He didn't care about that. All he cared about was getting his dick wet. So he's got her trauma from his last relationship and any other chick's trauma. And he's bringing it right and plugging it into you. So who's the winner? Ooh, good job. And then this lady's waking up in the morning after she screwed fuckboy, and she's thinking, oh my God, I feel more empty and less self-esteem than I had the night before. And you're feeling like all his trauma that he just downloaded into you plus yours. So good job, sis. Now you see, no strings attached really means tons of strings. And tons of strings from unhealed people, unhealed souls, unhealed energy sources that are just running around fucking everybody up internally. And that, again, is what the agenda for them wants, because nobody realizes how powerful sexual energy is. You're literally becoming one with that other soul. You're literally joining biofields energetically with that other person. So if that other person is toxic, full of karma, full of trash, just bad, bad, bad news for you. So it's all part of the game, man. So if you were one of those people in 2022 who found Tinder or Bumble or one of those stupid apps to be something that they enjoyed delighting in, maybe call to action for 2023, you take your soul a little bit more seriously. Right? And this goes for just texting people. And I know this sounds fucked up, and I'm not, but if you don't have the intention, like you can pretty much tell within 15 minutes of a conversation with somebody if they're somebody that you want to continue to give energy to or not, if there's a feeling there or not. Don't just mindlessly text a bunch of people just so that you don't feel lonely. That is something that you may be doing to avoid working on yourself, is having all these conversations every day and this big group of people. We've got to be strong solo. Sometimes having these big group conversations, and people do this shit to me all the time, and not that I fucking am a bitch, but adding me to group messaging things. I am not playing that game. I don't play it. I hardly message people as it is because time, right? And when you engage in these conversations, it's like you're giving your time to something, which is something that I'm not able to do all the time. So I don't even open the door to it half the time, because it's like, I know that I'm going to be engaged for 15, 20 minutes in a conversation here. So it's like, I want to give that energy to something else. So we are really being called to really be mindful of your power and what your power is for your own life. And then collectively, all of us who are higher consciousness, higher vibration, where we are directing our power and our energy. I really do think that those of us, if we did a 6-month check-in after this in 2023, maybe I'll come back and do a 6-month check-in. If you accept the challenge and really temper yourself from the things that you found did not produce fruit in 2022, and come back in 6 months and see how you're vibing, how you're feeling in your own soul, how your vibration has changed, how your life is different, how you're attracting more abundance, right? How you're calling in more joy. Yeah, the world is going to burn. We know this. We're on the path. We're creating that. Now, there are people that are going to burn with it, and they're going to spiral down their own reality and stay on that timeline, and that's their future. But those of us who don't want that, it's a realm of consent. We create a different path for us. It will be laid out before us. If we're not consenting to this Orwellian dystopia, great. Then let's not consent to it, and let's not give our power to it next year. Let's keep holding the vision for the future that we do want, that we do consent to, and keep calling that in. And in 6 months' time, if you aren't feeling better, then you can go back on spiral on the other path, if that's what you so choose. But I just challenge you to give yourself 6 months. 6 months, and see how much different it becomes. It's only been a few months for me since I've been really mindfully trying to do this. And I'm going to tell you, my energy's improved. My external interactions have improved. Because instead of me looking at everybody like they're fucking dumb, honestly, instead of me being like, oh, these people are fucking dumb, man, I can't even with these people, they just don't see it my way. I've looked at it like, well, they're on their own journey, and I accept them where they're at, but that's not where I'm going. So I just enjoy the moment and the experience with somebody, and then I let it go. It's really improved my overall vibration, I will say. So maybe challenge you guys to do that. Thank you, Erin, for the stars. I appreciate that. I've never seen a cup before. A virtual gift. You can send stars with a virtual gift. Aw, clink. Thank you. I'd never seen that before. You're the first to ever send me a cup. I wonder if somebody can send me a puff, because I'm about ready to cut this shit. So next year, maybe somebody can send me a cloud of smoke, because I'll be missing it. I already know I'm going to miss it. I just love it so much, you guys. It's really difficult. But I have to cut away things that I love. Because it's habits. This is a habit. This is not a necessity. This is something that I enjoy doing, but I don't have to do to survive. I enjoy it, though. I surely enjoy sucking around on this fucking thing. You guys don't know how much I'm going to miss it. I literally, I'm not going to have anything to do except for breathe regular air, which doesn't taste like fruit. Yeah. Temple, my body? It is, but I don't freak out on that shit, man. I mean, it's just a rental. Honestly. I don't put too much stock into that. I've done a lot worse. Trust me. I've overcame a lot worse than vaping in my life. I used to put a lot worse shit in my body than this. Trust me. So this is actually quite the improvement. Yeah. Chew gum. Sue, I do chew gum, girl, but I used to chew it a lot more than I do now. But I heard that chewing gum is actually good for your muscles in your face to chew it for like an hour a day. Keep your muscles tight and keep these little jolly things at bay. So I usually try to chomp it up for like an hour. So, yeah, I do chew gum. So maybe my face will be all snatched because I'll be, instead of puffing, I'll just be chomping away. Who knows, my friends? But anyway, regardless of what you're choosing for your 2023 path, I'm not going to cut anybody away from me. I may not be vibing, with people and what they're choosing, but that don't mean I'm ever going to separate myself from people. I'm about unity and love. And I want everybody to come together. People are going to fade on their own, and that's going to be their own thing, but I do have to cut certain things out. I will admit that. Never mind. I have to cut certain people out, but that's just on a personal level. Just because I've got to get off of this fucking cycle. It's not profiting me. It is actually making me freaking crazy and hurt. It's hurting me. It's hurting my soul. It's causing me pain in my fucking heart. Staying attached to certain people who just continuously behave the same way. I'm insane to expect anything different. So I have to be the one who takes control and says, fuck you. Fucking all the way off, man. With love. I release you with love. Right? Good luck, my friends. Some of you guys were asking me if I was going to be able to do a tarot blitz this weekend. And if I am able to do a tarot blitz tomorrow, if I have the time, I'll jump on and do it tomorrow during the day for those of you guys who are wanting one. But I'm definitely going to try and do one for you guys if I can. So I can't give you the time. It's just going to be if I have the availability to jump on and do a tarot blitz, I will. So you're waiting for a tarot blitz, Shan? I know there's been a couple people that are like, are you doing a blitz this weekend? I was like, oh, I'll try, guys. I really will. Okay. And thanks for the subscribers for being cool and letting me have the weekend to not do a coffee chat, because probably Sunday morning I'm going to stay up late with the kids, so I don't want to have to jump up and do one. But you guys are awesome, and I love to all of you guys. Welcome the new subscribers. Hillary, I know, just subscribed. Who else? I just want to go check. I'm going to shout out to all the new subscribers, because you guys are touching my heart by showing me support in a monetary way. I mean, I know a lot of you guys energetically support and love me. How do I even get there? I don't even know how to get to my own place from here. Oh my gosh. Hold on. I'll figure it out. Give me 2 seconds. Dick Tracy's on the job. There we go. I tried to go to my own group and it said this isn't valid. But it is valid. So shout out to the Newest members. Trying to find out. Hillary Long, Craig, Michael, Shaquana, Dawn, Maria, Annie. You guys are all the newest members. So shout out to all you beautiful friends. I appreciate you guys. Anyway, guys, so I'll see you guys later. I don't know, like I said, if I can do a Tarot Blitz this weekend, I'll jump on and do it. I can't guarantee you the time that I'll be able to do it. So I will definitely love to see you guys hanging out with me going into 2023. Any of you guys that decide to fade away, you know, I release you with love. That's my motto going into 2023 for things that are fading away from me. I release you with love. But those of you who choose to stay and ride it out and keep a vision for the new earth and really dive into yourself this next year, that's the mission that I'm going to be on, is just a lot of spiritual stuff. So that's the funnest stuff. All right. We'll see you guys later, all right? Take care. And be safe out there if you're planning any shenanigans for this weekend. We know the pirates love to pillage and rob during these celebratory days. So be careful out there for those freaking snakes in the grass, man. All right. Love to all of you guys. Take care. See you next year. Yeah? Bye for now.